You are now listening to 15 Minutes of Fame Radio.
Let's go!
15 minutes of fame radio.
We're now stepping into 15 Minutes of Fame Radio. Yeah.
That's my motherfucking jam right there.
Shout out to Iron Solomon, man.
Yes,
Sleepy
sir.
Iron Solomon. You tired?
I am tired, yeah.
We just wrapped up that Inside of the Bars, man.
I'm tired
so-
of you, to be honest.
You tired of me?
I slept well last night, but I'm just tired of the bullshit.
Everybody's tired of the
Yeah,
ride.
yeah.
Well, hey, what's poppin' though, man? How you?
I'm good, very good.
Good. I wanted to ask you. I don't even think I probably want to talk to some of the younger guys eventually too. But I want to talk to guys like you that's been around. And I made the joke earlier when we was filming the shit earlier that you've been battling since you was getting paid with Ring Pops.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you've been around since you weren't getting paid when you were doing that. Now that the platform is so big, a lot of these guys, they do come in, they do PGs, and I don't think they get paid for those. And then these other battles that they do. But you guys pretty much were on the big stage out the gate because what you were doing was the big stage because it was the only thing.
Stage, yeah. Yep.
So now you got guys, you know, lately there's been the conversation of everybody was a strike that happened and then, you know, they struck and then it didn't. It was like went right out like the wind blew.
Yeah.
About money. A lot of the guys, not a lot, but a few of the guys are complaining about money. Talk to me about you starting off not making anything and now you're actually making money in this game, and how's it working for you?
It's dope. I mean, I don't base my income solely on battle rap. It's like extra money. I love getting money. I love getting paid for it. It's amazing. Part of why I came back, not to be like I came back for the money, but was to be like, wait a second, like I can get paid for something creative. Like, why am I gonna throw the baby out with the bathwater? Like, just because people don't care about my album or my music or whatever, doesn't mean I have to quit, give everything up. Like it's still a dream to get paid to do something creative. You know what I mean?
Right, too.
So it's amazing, and like I understand people's frustration, but I think people are just frustrated in general, and it's like we want there to be an enemy or a culprit, and sometimes there isn't really one. You know what I mean? And I'm not to say I really don't know the inside business of the leagues to say like they're innocent. You know, I'm sure they're taking advantage of some people. I'm sure their job as a negotiation is to get the lowest price for me to do my work. I'm sure I could have gotten more money mad times and I didn't push for it. I definitely would love to get residuals from battles of mine that are still continuing to make money off of YouTube or whatever it is. But at the same time, I think that like we got to realize how young the industry is, right? Because like battle rap wasn't really like, there might have been events where there was money, Jump Off came and did a huge tournament and the winners got 50 grand, but you didn't get paid to be in it. You know, I used to spend my rent money when I was in college to go fly to battles, and if I ain't win the battle and win, then I would be out the flight. You know what I'm saying? I would sleep on people's couches and pay for my plane ticket and go alone to a battle. I don't know nobody, sleep on the promoter's couch, and if I don't win the whole thing, then I might have to do something else to get rent together, you know what I mean? So we used to invest. I used to take buses I used to just travel like crazy on my own dolo to go battle just to get a name and just get a buzz. And it was for music. It was for me to make a platform for music. So there would be prize money, but in terms of like, yo, you're a name and you're a draw, you're selling tickets because you're on the flyer, you're selling pay-per-view because you're on the stream, that's very new. That's like maybe 10 years, right? Like almost 10 years. And even within that time frame, right?
10
like
years as far as the pay-per-view goes?
10 years as far as like selling
Okay.
tickets to events.
Right.
Where it's like really like real money in it. You know, maybe because like Smack DVD era is like, we sell DVDs, you know what I mean? And just to be clear too, like Smack DVD wasn't like just Murder Mook versus Serious Jones on a DVD and he was selling that for $20. Like that was one, like 5%, like 2% of the footage
So
time.
much other shit
It's
on
mad
there.
other shit. 50 Cent, Paul Wall, like crazy interviews. So like, even though the battle rap thing has come to be what Smack was branded as, that's not the original thing that was the sole driver of the DVD sales. But just to say that, like, over 10 years, where it's like, that's a super, any industry that's 10 years old, that's super young. And not only is monetizing battle rap for everybody who participates, not just a single like prize winner, is new, right? That's the part that's new. Monetizing battle rap for every participant, not just a single tournament winner, is new. Not only is that new, but the revenue streams have changed over the course of those 10 years. So you're talking about ticket sales and then monetizing on YouTube, and then there was a time where everybody was fighting pay-per-view because they didn't think it was the right model, and then now YouTube has changed their rules, so you can't monetize YouTube the same way, and now we're, as a culture and an industry, trying to shift to a pay-per-view model. So not only is the industry young at 10 years old, but the delivery method of the content and the revenue streams are changing. So that makes it volatile and young. So to position ourselves as enemies of other people who are participants in this really small ecosystem of an industry, I think is counterproductive. I understand the frustration of not being rewarded for really hard and high quality work. But I think that you have to separate the emotional piece of being passionate about art and creativity and compartmentalize that emotional part, and then put on your mathematical, rational hat to analyze the business piece of it. Because the most important thing in business is separating, not personalizing business, right?
Separating personal and business.
That's what you have to do. Even when you're separating your own personal creation from the business of making your creativity into a business and monetizing it. And in reality, like, there's no product without the battle rappers in terms of the writing and the performance. Right. But there's no documentation of it without the production teams, the Avocado and everybody else who are super key in this industry ecosystem, in this New York. So I keep saying ecosystem, but it's really almost like a supply chain. You know, it's like a supply chain where it's like each person plays a different role. And then there's no, then there's media who plays a role in that too. There's you, other blog outlets that play a role in that. And then there's Smack and RBE and King of the Dot and Bullpen and iBattle and Coliseum and all these other leagues that are creating a delivery method. So really, without people who are focused on the business and really know their shit, there is no industry. It's just creativity, right?
I want to ask you a question. I'm not saying you're, what is the word, babbling.
I'm
saying
probably
some deep shit. So I want to bring up scenario, right?
Yeah.
Because you brought up Coliseum, right?
Sure.
You're a battle rapper. You go to Coliseum. I'm just throwing these numbers out here. Coliseum pays you $200 to battle on Coliseum, and you're happy with that. You give your best performance. You give 3 fire rounds. Now you go on URL, and URL pays you $1,000. Is that come on? Does it matter that Coliseum is not making as much as URL as far as money wise? So do you understand what
I do understand what you're saying, yeah. And I think that's like, I think the lack of understanding of risk and reward and investment and return is part of what drives all that, because like, it really depends, right? It's like, some battle rappers I've heard be like, I don't give a fuck about what goes on with the league. I need 20, I need 30. Like, I need whatever I need, and I don't really give a fuck if you get a return on it. And I understand that, and that's totally your right to feel that way. But at the same time, you can't then turn around if you don't give a fuck about the business side of it and how that functions, because we're not talking about like some billionaire on their high horse just like paying people to battle rap in their courtyard. Like, you're talking about people who it's their job, it's their livelihood, how they pay rent to monetize your work. So if you don't give a fuck about how your work is monetized and if that's actually profitable, or if they're taking a loss on it, then you can't really turn around and expect them to give a fuck if you're making enough money. You know what I'm saying?
True.
And like really, there's just no money without the leagues. There's no money. Like
Right. There's no platform. You need the platform.
yeah, like and I heard some of the comparisons to SoundCloud rappers and stuff like that, but one thing that this younger generation of rappers on SoundCloud is really good at is marketing and monetization. Like they know
Their
how to
own shit.
Yeah, their own shit. So if we're not going to become great at that, which honestly I don't think we should, because I'm somebody who I started a record label, LLC, got investors that I courted, had a distribution deal, you know, did videos. Like I really did it on my own. It's fucking hard, yo. Like when you multitask, you become a jack of all trades and a master of none.
Right.
And if we're gonna focus on making the art as good as possible, we have to focus on that. And we don't know shit about business. And when you look at Smack, because I was talking about this with Quest and Marv today, so I had a lovely breakfast
Shout
engagement.
out to Quest
Yeah,
and Marv.
they were in Philly to go to Champion, and we had a lovely breakfast engagement. And you know, when you look at Smack and why they're at the top right now, and this is not at all to down any other league, but just to analyze what's going on, is you have Smack, who's a hustler. Like I don't really know or want to speak to Smack's background before Smack DVD, but Smack was networking, getting it popping, learned how to film, learned how to edit, learn how to build relationships, learn how to press and print DVDs in an era before CD burning at home on your computer. Like probably went to, what was the spot that used to be in Harlem, MOS or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like producing his shit, linking with stores, finding outlets. Like that's like entrepreneurial hustler work that he spent years cultivating. I mean, we're talking about now probably 15, 20 years of him knowing how to do that. And then you have Eric Beasley, who's an industry executive, A&R at Asylum Records, who understands marketing and understands the budgets and return and investment and all this stuff. So if you wonder why they're so successful, it's like they have the pieces of the puzzle. You're dealing with people who are businessmen who have focused more on the business of music than the creation of music. And we're the ones that are focusing on the creation of content. So you need, for a car to run, you gotta have an engine and you gotta have the wheels and all this stuff. So like we need people who are great at monetizing battle rap and who are hungry to make money out of it. You know what I'm saying? We need that shit.
Minutes of fame.
You are now listening to 15 Minutes of Fame Radio.
Let's go. 15 minutes of fame radio.
Now stepping into 15 minutes of fame radio. Yeah.
That's my motherfucking jam right there.